P2B is being used as a distraction against the Biafran quest for restoration of the lost sovereign state of Biafra. They use them to distract the gullible ones, and eventually they fall prey. And today, what is happening? The same narrative, the same story, after 4 years, is about to repeat, and people are not asking questions.
While you were waiting for your scam P2B, we've gone far. P2B were never real. We told you that P2B is a scam. He was not real. First, you went into election contested against criminal. And then after that, you come back and start saying he was a drug dealer, he forged the certificate, he was this and that. What he did not fight during the primary election is a scam. What P2B did, what they used P2B to do, was to lure some of the Moron Biafras, the gullible ones, into campaigning for one Nigeria, so that by the time it fails, just like it failed now, you will come back again, oh, Nigeria is not working again, and they will tell you, go and sit down. Is it because you lost the election? We refused. So if you come and put yourself under the Biafra Liberation Movement, nobody is going to say because we lost the election, because we never supported the election in the first place.
Now, I am telling you again that the worst thing that can happen to Igbo people is P2B emerging as the president of Nigeria. For crying loud, should he be considered as the flag bearer of the coalition, which he has publicly proclaimed that he's going to run for one tenure of 4 years? Some persons say one tenure is enough to change the whole situation. One tenure is enough to fix the country, Nigeria, with the state of economy, with the state of insecurity, with the hunger ravaging the country. The country is divided than ever before. There is no unity, there is no cohesion, there is no understanding. In fact, Nigeria is at the verge of breaking up. Possibly for the United States military, special military, to have come up with such projection that Nigeria might not survive by 2030. Here already, we're in 2025. We've seen what is happening, the escalations of killings, that sadly the government is handicapped, unable to protect her population. What they could only tell us is that the people killing the Nigerian indigenous people or citizens are aliens. Now, how comes that aliens invade your territory, your supposed sovereign defined territory, kill and mar, sack communities, kill including children, leave scores, hundreds, 200s dead, and yet they could not be arrested? And you're telling me that P2B will fix this level of destruction? What exactly do people think about P2B? Is P2B different from other politicians? Of course, he has his 2 term. He served as a governor of Anambra State, a 2 term of 8 years. What could he have achieved? Now, after he left, what is the situation? What is the state of Anambra today? Has Anambra been turned to an Eldorado? Is it not the same Anambra that I'm saying that, look at the wanton destruction of lives, unrest going on? This is the same Anambra that P2B claimed he governed. Where is that sustainability? So I am saying unequivocally that the worst thing that can happen to the Igbo race is P2B emerging as the president of Nigeria. It's a scam. By my own opinion, it's a scam. What the Igbos need is not presidency of one term. P2B wants to just live his lifetime ambition of becoming the president. If it doesn't matter if it is one day or one tenor, he's good to go. But telling me that you are going to fix this country, how? How possible? That if you have an idea, why not sell it to those in power? If you think those ideas could be workable. From production to consumption, from consumption to production, why didn't you replicate it? Why you have the whole 8 years in Anambra State? Why didn't you turn Anambra to the Dubai of Nigeria or to the Japan of Africa, if you have what it takes to do that? Today, people would have been rushing to Anambra to be absorbed, to work, and the rest of them. So anybody deceiving you, this is the way the majority of the Igbos were deceived. Let's try him. Let's forget about Nnamdi Kanu. Let's forget about Biafra. Let's try him. 2023, he will make. Nothing will stop him from winning. Nothing will blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, what happens? They were disappointed and ashamed of themselves. When I told someone, forget about being a professor or not, this man coming is not coming with the intent of serving the people, the Anambra people. Look at his projections, his statements in most recent days, that the killings in Imo State, the entire eastern region, not even Anambra, he has exonerated the Fulani, the terrorists, the Vedas from the Futa Jalon and other Sahel regions, that they are not the ones. Igbos are the ones killing themselves, disrupting, raping their own mothers, daughters, and the rest of them, sacking communities. Igbos were responsible. Igbo criminals, as the way he put it, that the people he have arrested or the security outfit, Udogachi, whatever, have arrested are people who are bent at destroying Igbo land, that these are Igbo people. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Why is Hope Uzodinma of Imo State giving the herders, the Fulani herders, ultimatum to leave Paket Owerri, to end open grazing, because he knew that they portends great danger, threats to the lives, even to his life directly, because for him to have given such ultimatum means there could be some critical information that is not privy to the public about his security details, could possibly be overrun, as a matter of fact. So you have to take this proactive step just to save himself, not because of the defenseless masses. So anybody telling you that P2B has any intention of salvaging the country is wasting time. You get there, will tell you that there is no, in fact, 4 years is not enough to fix the country. Do you think it is possible for P2B to come up with some people who say executive order? This is a democratic setting. The North will frustrate him. They will tell you that when it comes to majority, they have it in the National Assembly and the lower and upper chambers. So if they do not align with their own dictates, with their own demands, there is no way you can make a headway. Where is that executive order? Why is Tinubu, how many executive orders have been signed? Which one is working? Has executive orders stopped the killings, the invasions, the overrunning of communities? Has it solved the issue of problem? The Boko Haram, the other spinster groups springing up. Some people say Jagban has the capacity, he has the political will to fight Boko Haram, he will silence them, blah, 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 blah. 2 years down the line, unfortunately, we have not seen any sign of remedying the situation. So what exactly will P2B do differently? And now Tinubu is asking for the election bid, because 4 years will not be enough for him to fix his programs for Nigeria. You can imagine, these are just endless rhetorics. What exactly is the program? With what is on ground? Did he still have any reserve that he needed 4 years to fix? So P2B will not be different. Some people might say, okay, his character and personality is quite different, and it's not just about character and personality. I am telling you, the way the country is wired and configured, take anybody to this country, it will not make any difference. One, because there is ulterior motive, there is agenda, that certain regions and vested interest has overriding interests of exclusive conquest and dominance. And I tell you, it will be more easier for a northerner, for a Fulani man, to prefer a Yoruba man of Muslim, who practices Muslim, than to choose Jesus of Nazareth, who they knew could fix the economy, who they knew is genuine. They will never choose him. So whatever is happening is they're just playing politics, perfecting their calculations, and the rest of them. By the time it will be done on P2B, you will possibly might learn the hard way this time. The doctor might not even consider him, even with the 4 years of one tenure. They might not, because there have been serious move to source for other personalities. The likes of Atiku is there. They have expressed their interest, and the rest of them, they wouldn't want to leave such chances, even though it's 1 year in the hands of P2B. But sadly, some people are not getting it right. If eventually they consider to give him the flag bearer, what impact could P2B make? The same way Jonathan played to the gallery, saying that once he returns the second tenure, eventually he will focus on the South. What really happened? What transpired thereafter? Of course, with the billions he's expended for his re-election bid, they ate the money and also sabotage, rigged the election, rigged them out. The only sure bet is the disintegration. Let each region manage their security, manage their resources, develop at their own pace. So anyone who is interested in humanity, in preservation of humanity, in the progress of humanity within this contraction, must certainly advocate for what? Separation. Because with the height of acrimony, hostility within this contraction, it does not foster up coherence and unity. So nothing P2B could do different. Now, if P2B should run for one tenure, what happened? What difference? Eventually another person will succeed him. Would that have made any difference? Some will say he will build on the foundation. Which foundation has others been building? It has become pretty almost impossible for the National Assembly to embark on electoral reforms, to embark on constitutional reforms, and the rest of them. Somebody will say, when there is a political will, and the rest of them. At the end, what happened? I have cited Anambra today. How is Anambra faring? It's the same system. The money he claimed he saved, where are those money? They have looted it, and eventually the state is under heavy debt. So anybody who decides to deceive himself, well, should wait for the next shock. By then it will be clear. So P2B is being used as a distraction against the Biafran quest for restoration of the lost sovereign state of Biafra. They used them to distract the gullible ones, and eventually they fall prey. And today, what is happening? The same narrative, the same story. After 4 years, it's about to repeat. And people are not asking questions. Not somebody say things will not be like that. Things will not be like that. What will not be like that? Of what importance is that? What sense does that make? What I think is, how can people reason outside the box, get to understand what is playing out, that this country was not designed to serve the interests of the ethnic nationalities. It was designed to protect the British business interests and empire. So the only way to dismember and dislodge the British influence or interference within the Nigerian state is to dismember this country. The amalgamation was the greatest fraud in the annals of history, in the human history. It's the highest fraud. So anyone trying to build on the false foundation will be serving the interests of the British government and their business empire. So that is just the way. Nigerians have not experienced freedom, no independence. It's just for few political class or gladiators who are there ripping off the commonwealth of the masses, being a puppet to the Western powers and the rest of them who have been making this country to stupor, and yet people are hungry, haggard, and nothing to show for it. It's the height of irresponsibility, and as such, people must rise to fight this injustice. So nobody can convince me otherwise, because what I'm telling you will definitely play out, and you know. Let me see the magic wand that a country battered as such could be fixed in 4 years. That could be possible if there is coherence, if there is harmony, if there are no such issues, just as we are seeing. People going about killing each other, killing communities, taking over their ancestral homes, and they think that will stop. The security camps for military bases, camps being rounded up and raised down, military being hacked to death. He said this will stop. In fact, in the northern region, in different areas, communities or local government, they have overrun the military bases, taking over their collecting taxes within the defined Nigerian territory, leaving people collecting taxes, those ungoverned space. And yet, you claim that this is one Nigeria, and P2B could do miracle. Well, I'm not after or against his ambition. Everybody has the right to expression. Everybody has the right to pursue his aspirations and the rest of them. But I'm telling you holistically that Igbo stands to lose. Only time will reveal that, but definitely for those who believe in the cause of emancipation and suppression, I definitely will not listen to P2B, because they have considered him as a destruction, just as Mazi Simon Ekpa expressed in the video we just watched prior to this one. It is quite unfortunate. But if you think what Simon Ekpa is saying is wrong, then you cannot be right either. Let's watch out.